What's up, everybody? ODC here. I'm back with another live review. I have not done a review in quite a while. There's a good reason for that. Been out of town for a little bit, 13 days to be exact. And I thought I'd just come back with a live review. You know, I haven't done a review in a while. And like I said in my other video, it's not necessarily that I'm not going away. You know, the YouTube thing kind of frustrated me for a while, so I just took a little break. No big deal, but I'm back now with a live review, and I am here today with the Marvel Legends X-Men Havok and Polaris 2-pack. So, pretty excited about getting this today. Thanks, guys. How's it going? Hello, hello. How are you doing, bud? I miss all you guys, you know? I might have to, I did come unprepared. I might have to run downstairs and grab my charger really quick. So bear with me. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Give me the thumbs up if you guys can hear me all right. Hopefully my microphone's not acting up. For some reason on this, on my iPad, for some reason the mic's been kind of messing up a little bit. I know the last time I did a live stream that it was quite low with the, as far as the sound goes, but... yeah, I'm going to attempt to do probably another, just a live, just kind of, I don't know, maybe another Marauders video, which I have not done in a while, which I'd like to do. But, yeah, I missed all you guys, and so I'm here today with this. I think I'll grab my charger in a bit. But let's get to the packaging. Packaging looks really good on this. I like the nice light blue on this. Looks very nicely done. Really gives you that 90s X-Men feel to it. And then on top of that, on the side, you even have those old school, I believe they were Toy Biz cards. I have the set. It's not fully complete, but I have the majority of the set, and I do have both these cards with Havok and Polaris. Flipping it around to the back, you can see the vintage cards right here. Here's the front of the cards. Oop, let me line that up properly. Here's the front of the cards, and then they had these really cool, like, power grids. So you could, like, compare and contrast between all the other characters. Let me get my pointer out so you don't see my fat fingers, sausage fingers in the shot. I thought that was really nice little touch that that these did. But obviously, I believe the Toy Biz logo has been removed from here. I'm pretty sure that they were Toy Biz. Maybe not. Might be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But... anyway, Marvel's Havok right here, Marvel's Polaris. It did not say Marvel's before. This is something that Marvel Legends has constantly been doing, putting Marvel's in front of everything due to maybe various copyright issues. I don't know. Maybe there's other things called Havok and Polaris, and they don't want to mess around with that, so they have to give their... put Marvel's in front of it so they don't get any issues with that. Same on the side. Blah, 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 blah. Here's the front. I'll give you a closer look to the front of them. You'll have to apologize if my lighting does act a little quirky, just for the packaging portion, just because I have my lighting propped up. It will get a lot brighter once I take these out of package, which I'm going to do right now because I'm done talking about the packaging. Because who gives a shit about the packaging, right? All right, opening these up. Might take a minute. Let me readjust my lighting. Oh, so much brighter now. Look at that. Ooh, ooh, fancy feast. All right. But while I'm doing this, how's everybody doing? Hello, hello. Action Figure Addict, how you doing? Gaz, how's life treating everybody? I actually think that the energy effects, normally I don't like when they give two of the same energy effects to two different characters, but I think it does kind of work for both of these two. And it also does work that these two, you know, they are a couple, they are an item, and they did come in a 2-pack together, which I thought made perfect sense. So, Havok looks really good. I think he is the stud of the 2-pack. Personally, just because I've been waiting for this version of Havok, and we just kept getting the black suited version, which nobody wanted. I think they gave us the, Toy Biz gave us the classic look, and then Hasbro gave us the more modern look, which I was like, why you do this, you know? But Havok looks really good. I'm going to definitely have to readjust my camera here so you can see him properly. But he looks really good. Oh my god. This was the 2-pack I was really looking forward to out of the X-Men stuff that was announced. I mean, don't get me wrong, that Cyclops, Jean Grey, and Wolverine 3-pack looks great, but these are 2 characters that really have been just pushed to the side and not been given too much love. I know we got, like I said, there were more modern versions from Hasbro, excuse me. But these are the versions everyone wanted, and the fact that Hasbro didn't pick up on that is a little funny to me. Her ankle's a little funky, you'll see in a second, but I'm trying to get her into a pose. Yeah, it was my favorite. Me too, guys. It was my favorite Havok uniform as well. Just so iconic, the whole Jim Lee look. It's just, you know, these 90s, nothing can beat the 90s X-Men look. I just don't think anything. And they even though they look different, they still have that team feel to them. And that was one of the coolest things about the 90s X-Men. As well, they did look like individuals, which all X-Men do. Now it's like, you know, they still look like a team, you know. And they got the shading. Oh man, he's so good. He looks so good. I'm gonna get more in depth and take a better look because I am just sort of nerding out because I've been waiting for these 2 versions of these 2 characters for such a long time. It's been such a long wait for getting the rest of X Factor, and we pretty much only have Multiple Man, which was the first of X Factor that we got, and other than that, we don't really have too much. I know we're getting Strong Guy. I think it's next year, which I can't wait for that. But regardless of all of that, yeah, it's their X Factor. Yes. This is 90s Jim Lee X Factor to the nth degree. But it looks really good. Let me roll up my sleeves here so you don't see sleeves. And I'll get to their accessories. Let's get him out of the shot. We'll do him last. We'll save the best for last. I'm going to have to glue his straps to his leg because they constantly keep falling down. So as far as Polaris, you have the open hands, which are on so many female figures. It's ridiculous. And then we also got a set of fists for her, which I'm going to swap out and give her the fists. I know a lot of people might give her these hands, but so many, like I said, so many female characters have them. Storm has them. I think even Kitty Pryde has an open hand. But it's just so many, so I'm going to switch it up, and I'm going to give her the fist hands, and we're going to do that right now. So let's go ahead and pull these out. Pull those out. And this is a separate piece, and it does move up and down. So if you do pull off that hand, just be cognizant of that, because this will slide off. And then just pop it on, and boom, there you go. You can push that down a little bit so it looks a little bit more like a natural glove. And then pop that off. This side will also come undone as well. And then if this does, the fact that this moves does bother you, you can just glue it. I normally don't glue the glove cuffs, just because I don't want to get any glue in there, and it's a tighter fit too. They do swivel a little bit, but it's not as nearly as bad as the leg cuffs, so I'm not too worried about that. She's a little bit better. It's a little bit tighter of a fit for these boot cuffs, so it's not too bad. Her one ankle on this side is a little bit wonky. It's a very tight fit, so I'm gonna have to use some hot water or a blow dryer on her ankle. But it's not too bad. It's only the pivot portion. I have to kind of push that a little bit more. I am noticing right here that this color yellow right here is a darker yellow than this yellow for her foot and her cuff, just to point that out. Same thing goes for the other foot. It's a different color, and I think that's due to this being a blue plastic and then this being painted yellow. So it's a darker yellow for that portion of the foot where the ankle is. Everything else looks pretty solid on her. I'm not seeing any wonkiness. Let's check out these eyes. The eyes look pretty spot on. They look pretty good. Not too worried about that. But look at the sculpt of this hair. It is gorgeous. I love it. Some people are probably going to point out that, oh, it's lighter green here, and then it's like, it looks like a stripe right here, and then it's lighter green again, then it's like a stripe down here with the different tones of green. And you can see a little bit of paint slop right here on that curl right there. Very reminiscent of, I want to say, the sculpt of maybe like a poison ivy or something like that. But other than that, I'm not going to really nitpick too much. Some people really do nitpick the shit out of paint. I'm not going to nitpick it too much. It looks like this is all cast in this green color, this darker green color, and then they do some paint on top of that and in between. But it does do a nice job of giving a little bit of differentiation between the greens, so I'm not going to nitpick it too much as long as the sculpting of the head is done well. The eyes are centered, which they seem to be. It is a beautiful face sculpt too. I mean, the nose looks good, the lips look good, everything looks pretty centered, so I'm not really too worried about it. The rest of her costume looks really nice. New sculpt here for the upper torso piece. As far as the collared piece goes for that 90s Jim Lee look, let me get in closer here. And let me adjust my lighting. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's a new word. But this piece, I'm not sure if those are painted. They're supposed to be painted. Let me double check really quick, and I will tell you. Yeah, they are supposed to be silver. They are not painted. I guess you could do it yourself. And obviously the zipper portion right here is supposed to be painted a little bit silver. That probably would enhance things a little bit, but I don't think it takes away from the figure's overall quality as far as that's concerned. I like her on this body. I don't think she's too skinny. She's a little bit thin in the leg area, but I guess I don't really mind it too much. It's not the end of the world. Let's check out the tush. That's a nice tush right there. Can't complain about the tush, the tushy wushy. There's a little bit of writing on her leg. That's just, you know, whatever, part of the mold. But this belt is obviously a separate piece, just like Rogue had, just like a ton of other Marvel Legends have. They don't really like to glue anything down. So I guess it does make it easier for customizers to remove things, so it's not glued to the body and they don't have to remove adhesive. But and maybe that's part of their reasoning, but I highly doubt it. Looks pretty good. I showed you the hands. She does have, like I said, the fist hands and then the open hands for energy effects. I do want to point out that her lipstick is a very nice metallic green. It does differentiate from the rest, and it might not be picking up that well. There you go. Now you can see a little bit of that shine on her bottom lip. It does look really good. Very pleased with how that turned out as well with the lipstick for her. The X on her chest is where it's supposed to be. Like I said, I don't have too many issues with paint. I pointed the one out on her ankle, which is a little bit darker. It's not the end of the world. It's kind of similar to when that X-Men box set came out a while ago, and it was their first appearance look. And they kind of went with like the weird, different toned yellows for some of their body parts, and it really kind of took away from the fun factor of the box set. But she doesn't really have that issue. Here is the back. Here is, I'm just going to kind of spin her around really quick so you guys can see everything. Hopefully you can see everybody. Hey, Woodman, how's it going? Let's check and see if anybody else popped in. Oh, okay. But she looks fantastic. I'm really pleased that her eyes are centered. She doesn't look weird. I think the body proportions, including the arms right here, I think this might be a new sculpt. Don't quote me on that yet again. If I am incorrect, then I apologize, but it does look like a new sculpt to me for the arms. Might be the reuse of the Rogue arms. I'm not 100% sure because Rogue is all the way across the room, and I don't have Mr. Fantastic arms to go grab her. So, but we'll just set her aside and get to the rest of her accessories. Will you stand, sweetheart? Yes, you will. Okay. And then the other two accessories that she does come with are these kind of old energy effects that came with like Doctor Strange and a whole plethora of other characters already that we've received. So there is that portion for you. And if you guys have any questions before I get to Havok, go ahead and ask away. I'm just going to put all of her accessories right here. As far as putting them on here, I said pudding. Weird. Pudding. You can get her, let me just get her out of here and pose her somewhat in some way properly. Kind of probably want to get her into maybe like a flight pose or something like that. And let's try and do this. Okay. I need that haircut. You want that haircut? All right, there we go. You can use these cuffs to kind of keep these staying into place. These little clips right here, the green clips that you clip onto the arm, they're kind of meant for a male arm, not a female arm. But you can use her cuffs, her yellow cuffs right here, to kind of clip onto, and they'll stay in place, as you can see right there. So, you know, if you want to get her into, or have her using these, then you can go that route. But that's pretty much it. Like I said, she does come with the open hands with this. So maybe you want to have her with the open hands with this. I'm just going to switch it up and give her the fist hands. So I want some, have her look a little bit different from the rest. Let's get that belt down. There we go. But there is Polaris. Let's get to her articulation, then we'll move on to Havok. Hopefully I don't wobble the camera all over the place, and you guys can enjoy this review instead of going, ugh, oh boy, he's wobbling the camera again. Head does swivel side to side, can look back. It actually looks back decently with having all of this hair, and then looking down, she can really look down. Let's see if she got to, oh my God, it's the jive turkeyest of all turkeys. So she's got some serious jive turkeys in there. No, a little bit of head tilt as well, so there's a little bit of room in that peg hole for her to wobble. Arms go up, they go down, full 360 rotation in the arm, a single bend at the elbow, which is more than 90 degrees, which is beautiful. A swivel at the elbow, no bicep swivel for the female figures. Swivel at the wrist, hinge joint, which goes back and forth, and you can manipulate that to go up and down as well. And then a pivot side to side for the diaphragm joint, back, forward, swivel. Splits is about that much, which is pretty pathetic, but you know, that's how it's pretty much been for the female figures. Her legs can go forward about that far, that's maxed out, and then they go back. The sculpting of the rear end, which is beautifully done, is getting in the way of it going further back than that. Upper thigh swivel, it's very, very, very tight for that. Let's see if we get a little bit of, no, I thought there was going to be a little bit of a maneuver, a rocking pivot in the hip, but there's not. A double jointed knee, and that's about maxed. She can point to the heel about that far, points the toe, ankle pivot, and 2 peg holes at the bottom of her feet. And that is Polaris in a nutshell. I don't have a nutshell to actually put her in a nutshell, which I did. I wish I did, but if I did, I would. I would fold her up and she would go into a nutshell. Okay, anyway, moving on. Okay, let's bring in the big dog. It's the big dog, and he's going to give you a big dog with a big dog. Oh, I didn't think her head would move that much with all that hair. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I didn't think so either, because that's kind of the issue the old Club Infinite Earth's Poison Ivy had, is that her head had like almost zero movement, you know? But yes. And yes, guys, this is $40 for this, and Strident just sent me a message because I sent him a message. But yes, this is a $40 set, $39.99, and he just messaged me asking me how much, 40, and I was like, yep, 40 bucks. So if you're watching this back, Strident, yes, 40 bucks, bud. But and I will message you in a second. Anyway, here's Havok. Here is, I think, the one I was really looking forward to in this set. And I mean, I'm looking forward to both of them, but yeah, this looks so good. Are those Cyclops' leg bands? Let's double check that. I'm gonna go grab Cyclops, and I'll also check out Rogue's arms and see if they reused her arms, which I believe they did use those arms. I'll know in a second if I come back and look at Polaris' arms. And don't believe they are the same arms. I think they vary slightly. No, I think they are. Yeah, they might be. They might be the same arms. But let's double check here. Take a look at our Cyclops. Yes, they are the same. Yep. Which I don't mind because, you know, whatever. Same ankle ones too. But yeah, there's the brothers. The brothers are together. They're finally together in their proper looks. But actually, you know what? Let me move him out of the way really quick. He doesn't really come with any interchangeable hands or anything, but he does come with his concussive blasts, which is what these are supposed to be. They're just the same look that we got for the other energy effects for Polaris. So they're just yellow instead of green. So same thing. And you can just clip them onto his hand, like we've seen this half a dozen other times, but you can get him into his kind of Havok blasting mode. I know this is not a very good look for him, and they do wobble quite a bit when they're in there. So maybe push them a little bit further back on his arm, up his forearm. But even then, they're still wanting to wobble. So you kind of have to work with that a little bit more, obviously. It would have been nice if he came with an extra head, maybe a screaming head. That would have been nice. Yeah, I agree. CT Bill 555. I kind of wish that they would update some of their energy effects and give us the proper ones. But I got a feeling that this 2-pack was was just a victim of the old energy effects, you know. But I agree with you. I'm sick of them too. The gloves. Let's see if you can remove these hands from there. The gloves look a little bit odd on the arms, just because you can see there's like a weird like gap between the forearm, which doesn't look like it's actually lining up. It makes it really look like a toy. If you see that right there, that's what I'm talking about, that part. It does look a little funky. This side doesn't really have it too much, but this side, let me just get this lined up so you can see what I'm talking about here. You see that right there. Maybe they need to be pushed in more. That's still doing it. But this side doesn't really do it too much. It's just a little bit, but that side does it way more. Maybe, I understand he had fingerless gloves and they were short and he didn't really have like anything on his forearm, but it does look a little bit weird. Just pointing it out, like his hands are small, kind of. Maybe he's got like T-Rex hands. But it's because he's got fist hands too. So, but overall, I mean, that's just a nitpick. That's something very small that does not really make the figure worse off or anything like that. It's just something to point out, I think. I love the sculpting of this coat. Now, I do have to go and check my multiple man because I'm going to bring him in here anyway. And let's just see if they used anything similar. I believe so. These arms are different. I'm not sure where the arms are from, but they are sculpted different. As you can see, the folds are different on here than on here. They're kind of more parallel, where these are kind of folding downward in a slope. So it's not the same arms, new sculpted arms, so that's beautiful. I like that. So that means that maybe we'll get a reused some of these arms for Rage down the road. That would be nice to get a Rage figure. Who knows? But I am loving this coat, and both these guys look great together. To be honest with you, look absolutely fantastic. The X on his chest is a little bit hazy, fuzzy. Let me get him out of the shot. Just to point that out, maybe like right up here, I'm just pointing stuff out, like I said. And right here, it's a little bit fuzzy as far as the paint goes. But look at the great job they did, all the great line work they did with the zippers going all the way around, all that beautiful sculpt work. And then it really gives off that comic book feel with the blues on the inside of the jacket and all the way over on the shoulders. They did such a great job with that. And that head sculpt looks great. I love the head sculpt. Can't complain about that. The hair looks fantastic. It looks 90s, epic, X-Men. I love it. And then the line work for the yellows on his belt, and his belt is a separate piece, so you can manipulate that or move it wherever you would like. The hands, I'm sure you can probably get these hands out if you use a little bit of hot water or a heat gun or whatever, a blow dryer or whatever. If you wanted to have him maybe with open hands, some sort of customized open hands, you can go that route. Like I said, these are a separate piece, and they do want to fall down quite a bit. So you just have to get some Loctite or super glue or whatever you'd like to get to use it to keep these upright. They're kind of staying right now, which is strange. They usually always fall at this point. I'm probably going to have to, I'm probably going to glue these right after the review, but I am very pleased with this. Overall, his eyes aren't wonky. The eyebrows look good. Very good job with that. Let me get him in closer. Hopefully we can focus here. Come on, iPad. You can do it. I believe in you. There we are. The eyes look pretty good. Hey, Terry, how's it going, buddy? Terry and Zorpox, how you doing? But looks fantastic. I really love this blue line work. I know it's not the biggest deal in the world, but it does add to that very comic book feel to him, which is just wonderfully done. And then the X on his jacket looks good. I don't really have too many complaints here with Havok. So looks just so well done. They nailed it with this guy. They really, really nailed it. And they didn't really have to do too much for the legs. It's just a blue plastic for the legs. Not a whole lot of paint. These are yellow plastic for the thigh cuffs and the ankle cuffs, or the boot cuffs, I should say. Everything else looks really good on him. Very just simplistic as far as the waist down. Waist up is where you get all this wonderful sculpting, and this is all sculpted in nicely. Now let's see how much of articulation and range of motion we can get out of him with this jacket on, because now, I'm kind of wondering what we're going to get. Also, he is on the Bucky Cap body mold, so it's the same body mold as Multiple Man and Cyclops, so I think that works well for him also. All right, so as far as articulation goes, his head can swivel side to side. It cannot do a full 360 due to the sculpting of the collar here, but he can look up about that far, which is not the best, but it's the collar getting in the way, so you'll have to kind of deal with that, I guess. As far as the range of motion goes, let me get him so he's focusing again. Come on, it's a little fuzzy. But his head can look down nicely. Good range of motion there. Let's see how many jive turkeys we got here. We got a 1, we got a 2, we got a 3, we got a 4, we got a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 piece McNugget turkey McNugget. There you go. So there's that. You can do a little bit of head tilt right there. And it's almost turkey season too. Anyway, arms go up about that far, and that's maxed out. Down, full 360 rotation in the arm. He does have a double jointed elbow, which is very nicely done, and especially with a jacket arm. So maybe we'll start getting some double jointed elbows with the rest of the jackets, because usually they're just a single joint. But I like this double joint. It looks good. It does break up the sculpt a little bit, and if that bothers you, I don't know what to tell you. Then maybe you would be happier with a single joint. But I like the double jointed elbows. Swivel at the wrist. He does have a hinge joint which goes back and forth. If you flip it, you can go up and down as well. He does have an ab crunch. Now, this is where it's going to get kind of hanky. Crunch goes, yeah, you're getting a crunch there. Because that's great. This is not sculpted to the body. So you can get at least one click out of it. going forward and back. So if you want to have him look further up and not have his torso look weird while he's looking up, you can still get away with it, I think. If you just kind of manipulate the jacket a little bit and have him look further up, you can go that route. So that's nice. Not bad at all. Waist swivel, and it's a full 360 right there. He does do the splits normal as most Bucky Cat body molds do. Legs go forward, legs go back, and that's maxed out. And then he's got an upper thigh swivel. He does have a double jointed knee. And he does have the boot swivel. Points to toe, points to heel, ankle pivot, and 2 peg holes. So, really well done. You know, I still don't like this stuff flopping around on me, but it's not the end of the world, to be honest with you. So, there's that. But looks good, feels good. He looks the part, feels the part. They both do. Let me get her in here as well. Let me get Mrs. Polaris in here. Come on, girl. Look powerful. Look sexy and powerful. There you go. She's kind of doing some weird thing with her neck. There we go. That's a little better. So there we go. We have the power couple of X Factor. And then we'll bring in him, and we've got about half the team now, which is great. And they all look good. All the yellows are pretty consistent throughout the board, across the board, excuse me, I should say. And I really am liking this set quite a bit, and can't wait to get Strong Guy. Hopefully we get Feral down the road as well. I would love that. I think all signs point to, since we got Wolfsbane out of that Walgreens figure for Moonstar and Karma, that we'll probably get a Feral sooner rather than later. So that'll be really great, and hopefully she does come in her costume and everything. That'll be fantastic. Don't buy Marvel Legends normally, but I do have to get these two. Yeah, I think this is a well worth your $40 right here. The only thing I would have added, well, I would have added a bunch of things, but if I could add within the budget of being $40, I would have given Havok an extra, maybe a screaming face, maybe some open hands for him as well, and then call it a day. Obviously, if there was more in the budget for the $40 mark, I probably would have gone with new energy effects for them just to make this 2-pack even that much better. But overall, I think they all have, you know, pretty good range of motion. For Polaris having her head being quite hindered by the sculpt of her hair, which is actually sculpted very nicely. She's got pretty decent range of motion in the head. Overall, pretty decent range of motion for her. As far as the hips go for the splits, I would like to see a little bit more. Maybe they can do a little bit of re-engineering in the future for those hips. And as for Havok, you know, even his range of motion with the ab crunch being kind of hindered by the coat, but that's going to kind of come with the territory, seeing as that's all sculpted plastic. But they did make it a looser plastic, so it's not attached to the lower portion of the upper torso. So he can still get at least one click for that crunch. So that's nicely done. The line work looks pretty good with them. There's a couple little spotty paint defects with each, like on her ankles and then on the X on his chest. But it's not the end of the world. It's not going to be, you're not going to look at it and be like, ugh, this is awful. Like maybe the X-Men box set that came out a few years ago. This is not an eyesore at all. I think this is going to make your shelf feel a lot more 90s X-Men. And now we're on our way, guys. Guys and girls. We're finally on our way to getting all of these beautiful 90s X-Men looks. And, you know, if you don't like the 90s X-Men Jim Lee stuff, that's okay. You can just pass on these and save your money for something else that maybe you like. Maybe you like the more modern stuff that maybe more of that will come out in the future. I'm really digging these. And any recommendations for Spider-Man figures? You know what? I really like the Far From Home. I believe it's his first appearance look that they kind of nodded to in the movie. I like that figure. That one looks really good. I just really like Spider-Man's first look with the webbing coming off of his. They're kind of like little wings off the webbing coming from his like armpits or whatever to his torso from his armpit. That one looks really cool. I like that. Spider-Man. I really do like the Scorpion figure. I just recently picked that up. I'm gonna do a review on it, and I did pick up a custom head that makes him kind of look more like the animated version of that Scorpion, which is my more preferred look for him. The one that came with him is fine too, but I would try and outsource maybe a custom head for that as well. But anyway, as far as the Spider-Man figures go, I wish his tail was a little bit more bendy. He does come with a bendy wire tail, which is great, but I kind of wish there was a little bit more bend to it. It's not the end of the world. I still like the Toy Biz version a little bit better. Not a little bit better, a lot better. I think the sculpting on the Toy Biz version of Scorpion is a lot better, but we'll get to that in the review. So anyway, but let's get him out of there, and we'll get the power couple back in here. Yeah, I like these figures. I would definitely give them. Oh, are you gonna stand? Oh, and there he goes. And there goes his leg thing, his leg cuff. There we are. Okay. So I know I'm vanilla posing the shit out of these two, but as far as accessories go, I think it's okay. It's passable. I'm glad that she did come with some fist hands, which is my preferred look for her. I would definitely give this set a 2 thumbs up. I think the paint overall is done pretty well. So X marks the spot. 2 thumbs up for this set. Go pick it up. It's $40. I think it's worth your money and your time to try and hunt these down. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the review. I just want to kind of make this review short and sweet, but I did want to do a live review so I can interact with all of you. Like I said, I'm going to try and maybe get another review for during this week. I don't know when, but I will try and do another review. Like I said, I don't want to just bury the channel, but and let me just bring in some other people here. Bring in Cyclops and put him over. Yeah, we'll put him next to his brother. Why not? Right? Wouldn't be right if I didn't put him next to his brother. Then we'll just bring it back. Multiple Man, we'll put him in there. There we go. Looks pretty good. Very pleased with this set. Oh, there she goes. She's like, honey, I'm falling over. I'm drunk. Oh, now she's going to do a split. Oh, you going to stand, bud? Come on. I got to fix his ankles. His ankles are doing something weird. Come on. This is the fun factor of the live review. There we go. Okay. Good enough, smart enough. Gosh darn it. People like them. But that macaroni yellow, I know, right? Looks so good, though. Love it. I'm loving it. So, but yeah, 2 thumbs up for this set. Not really much else to say about it. Yeah, the Bills are looking pretty good this year. They are. So far. Let's see what they do against the Eagles this week. Who knows? But thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere, so. Yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video and this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, and very pleased to have this set. And thank you, Hasbro, for finally giving it to us. So with that being said, that's pretty much it for the review. Thank you to all the live viewers that watched. Thank you to Gaz, Action Figure Addict 112. Thank you to Woodman. Thank you to Zorpox. Thank you to CT Bill 555 and Terry Turner. Terry. Anybody else? Nope, that's it. Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you guys. You guys have a great day. Enjoy yourselves and happy hunting, and I will see you guys on the